Welcome to Oasis. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Oh, never mind, the game's paused. Hey guys, welcome to AAOL round 3. I think we're at now, week 3. We are seeing now FoulPlay Phoenix playing Hawaiian with no pineapple, and as many things around here, we aren't starting on time, so we've got a pause here. Joining me shortly in this cast will be Rufio, but we'll just wait a few minutes until this game's underway.
Welcome to Oasis. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the
Alright, and
objective.
we're underway here now. And no, we're not. We've got another pause because, of course, this is the AAOL, and this is what happens.
Alrighty.
Welcome back, guys. We're here on Oasis. First map. And that's a pretty handy team wipe there from Hawaiian with no pineapple, and they'll be able to secure the first point.
I'm back in the fight.
FoulPlay Phoenix just grouping up here, waiting to get back in. Interesting seeing both teams on the Mercy here. Both teams opting for the Pharaoh Mercy combination, and it looks like in this case it'll be Hawaiian with no pineapple that's able to do most with it. And you'll see here the list given just rolling FoulPlay Phoenix on the Pharaoh there.
My ultimate is charging.
Thanks for the assist.
Still no team composition changes here from FoulPlay Phoenix. They'll be looking to keep building up on this ultimate charge, but at this point in the game it's Hawaiian with no pineapple with quite a significant ultimate advantage, you have to say.
I'm here. I'm on fire.
Tickle me dad, finding it hard just to make any sort of an impact on that Pharaoh.
Thanks for the assist.
Hawaiian with no pineapple just using their Pharaoh to a much higher standard.
Yeah, the list given, he's really taking it to
He's
their Pharaoh.
getting away with doing just whatever he wants to them. And look, you'll see here that Hawaiian with no pineapple have 5 ultimates here to use. One team fights all they need to claim this first round on Oasis.
Oh, and he gets him again.
The list given's making it look pretty damn easy here on Pharaoh Oasis.
First round 1.
I mean, it's hard to get excited about this game so far, considering how one-sided it is.
Score.
We'll see what FoulPlay Phoenix can bring out in the next round.
Show them.
And it looks like it's City Center, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's
University.
Apologies.
Only if I can get yours too. I love your new album.
Less given swapping to Zarya there. Interesting changing roles, and Hawaiian with no pineapple will be opting for a Lucio here as well. So it's slightly different team comps from both teams on this stage of the map.
Enemy contact.
Already that early pick-off coming on from Skirt onto Swag in it. Got to be careful around those Moira orbs. And you feel like Hawaiian with no pineapple are just doing a much better job of grouping up Spain together and getting the early picks to a point that FoulPlay Phoenix just unable to do anything.
Understood. This will restore you.
Cheetah with that early pick off onto Tickle Me Dead, and that's going to make it almost impossible for FoulPlay Phoenix to push in here. And they'll retreat back to their spawn and wait to group up. Not really any ultimates up for either side yet. It's been a fairly low impact round so far. FoulPlay Phoenix are looking for their entry here now. Coalescence comes out from Skirt and it's proving quite effective. These early picks coming out from Hawaiian with no pineapple, and it's another easily won fight.
You seem in need of aid.
They're very hesitant when they come in to make the engage. They don't really know where they want to hit first.
Yeah, it does seem like that. They're just... And it doesn't help too that they're losing a member of the team almost before a team fight's even started. So FoulPlay Phoenix are looking quite reserved and not able to do anything.
They've been trying to send their Tracer in to turn them around, but it hasn't been working.
Just wonder what they can do differently. Yeah, you see Flipjack's now switched onto that robot previously on the Demon, and they're coming in. The sound barrier comes out.
And they've switched up to a Reaper here as well.
Lots of ults getting thrown out here. Really nothing happening just yet. Earth Shadow comes out there from Hawaiian with no pineapple. Looks like even trades on both sides. It's looking like FoulPlay might be able to bring it back here, but a few people left on the point. Tickle Me Dead getting the pick onto the Lucio. List given on the Zarya holding out the point for Hawaiian with no pineapple. It looks like that FoulPlay Phoenix might be able to flip the point there. What do you reckon swung that team fight?
They finally managed to get... The switch to Reaper really helped them out to extend more damage on their tanks.
Yeah, and you'll see that Swagganet's already on 65% ult charge on that Reaper just from that team fight, so he's clearly made a difference there. I think they also got lucky in the way that they had the ults at the right time for that fight.
Indeed.
Hawaiian with no pineapple looking to bring it back here, and they've already got an early pick off onto a tank, but Tickle Me Dead gets a trade onto Cheetah.
Their high noon going to waste.
Not giving up just yet. They're trying really hard to bring this one back, and that's Tickle Me Dead pick off onto the enemy Moira. And just clean up now for FoulPlay Phoenix. So it feels like that these switches that they've made with the Reaper, the Roadhog, it's making a difference for them.
With a more static composition, having the Rhine and the Roadhog there seems to suit them a bit better than running the dive.
I feel like perhaps these orbs of discord coming out from Kezray might also be making a difference. Meg's getting low quite early there in that fight, and well, the momentum's really just shifted here, and now it's the one with no pineapple finding it impossible to get anything done. Lots of ults up here too on the side of FoulPlay Phoenix. Maybe one team fight left here, and they've got the ults to make it happen. Coalescence comes out from the side of FoulPlay. Earth Shadow there comes out from Warzone. Pretty even fight up until that point, I think. It's Hawaiian that is slightly disadvantaged at this point.
Tickle Me managed to get a couple of important picks there.
Flipjack's still alive on the point, making things happen. And Swagganet, you're feeling like that Reaper switch is really making a huge difference now. And Flipjack's able to finish it off. It looks like Megs is just going to try and come on.
Round 2.
That was a more interesting round. think the momentum really strong for us, swung for foul play when they switched up that team comp from Lucio to Zenyatta, to Swag
And
and
when they
Tracer to
switched-
Reaper.
And switching over from the tanks as well.
Yeah.
Going away from that dive and switching to a more...
And whereas Hawaiian with no pineapple seemed less interested in adjusting their team comp, they stayed with the same thing, and just kept failing into that team comp that they're up against. But we'll see the Liz given back on the Barra here for this round, and I think that's going to be a better option given what we saw in the first stage.
Capture the objective.
I am empowered.
We'll see too what having a Mercy only on one of these sides, what difference that's going to make. The Liz given able to get some early damage in here on the Pharaohs.
And they're choosing to take around to the low ground while the others are posted up on high.
Yeah, so both teams are grouped up different parts of the map. And it's the Liz given with the early picks, plural. That
And
was
that
a
would be the team.
pretty decisive team fight there.
Ready. My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, I think that was maybe not unlucky, but by being grouped up on that low ground and Hawaiian having such a huge high ground advantage there, they were just able to get that team wiped so quickly. So much damage coming in from the Liz given here on the Pharaoh that already got the rocket barrage up, so that could be huge.
And that would be it.
And there's that team fight, John. And already a quarter of the way to the next rocket barrage. It's really
They have tried
making
to
a
make some
difference.
changes here. Yeah.
My ultimate is
Making
charged.
up the McCree and the Soldier coming in as well. But
Yeah, so foul play doing what they can. They're recognizing that the Pharaoh is causing them huge problems. They're going for 2 hit scan heroes here and switching on to Lucio as well.
I will not waste this opportunity. Target down.
Oh, that early pick's just going to be devastating for them. Because Rayon just switched onto Lucio, so this is really hurting him and hurting their teams in terms of ult economy. You'll see here that Hawaiian just have a massive ult advantage at this point with foul play unable to push in onto the point or get any damage done. It'll be Norza switching onto a Winston now and swagging it onto the Tracer, so again they're throwing away ult charge.
I am empowered.
yeah, try and match the dive with the dive, but they didn't work too well for them last time.
Not long now, here for foul play to get something done, but they're trying as they get onto the point. Coalescence comes out there from Mag. Oh, and that Diva Bomb's going to find Norza, and Rocket Barrage is going to get another 2 kills, and that's Hawaiian wrapping this one up. Just on cleanup duty now, the Liz Givens making such a massive impact in this first map.
Victory.
Well, from what we've seen so far, it's
Play of the game.
yeah, the Liz Givens really
He's been really dominant on that Pharaoh.
yeah.
Didn't even need barrage there.
Alright, well that's the first map out of the way. We'll be back in just a moment for map number 2.
Traveling to Route 66.
Welcome back to FoulPlay Phoenix versus Hawaiian with no pineapple here in week 3 of the Australian Amateur Overwatch League. I'm back here with Rufio, and well, that first game was interesting.
It was interesting. We sort of see that the teams trying to run dive quite a bit more, but you really notice a difference with the coordination between the teams that are used to running it and the ones that are not.
And like, it's hard to look past the difference that the Liz Given was making on Farah there. FoulPlay not able to do anything to stop him.
I mean, he was landing those Farah shots in midair on FoulPlay's Farah relatively easily and shutting him down quite comfortably. But they did make that nice switch up to Reaper though, which really helped them on the second.
Not really something that they could do on City Centre. So see Hawaiian on the attack here first. Liz Given back on the Farah.
And both running dive again.
Perhaps Mag on the Ana, maybe as a way to counter this Farah. Tipping me down on the Soldier 76. Do get the Liz Given low, but it's going to take a lot more than that to get him out of the sky. Early pick-off comes onto the support for FoulPlay Phoenix, so trade does come in there though. Liz Given down on the Farah, and well, Jesus not able to res him.
Phoenix managed to zone them out for a little bit there, but Pineapple's managed to pull themselves back together again.
Yeah, so Phoenix have really just given themselves a few seconds to take a breather, taking out the Liz Given in the sky and making it impossible for the Mercy Res to come out there. That'll be the Valkyrie coming out from the side of Hawaiian with no pineapple. There's even trades in this fight at this point. With Jack hoping to find a kill on one of these supports, but he's unable and he gets demacked. And this will be Hawaiian pushing the cart forward. So that was perhaps a more competitive defense there from FoulPlay Phoenix compared to what we've seen in these earlier maps.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct.
And they take the first point. Both teams quite similar here in terms of ultimate economy. And that'll be a rocket barrage coming out again from the Liz Given, but he gets taken out this time thanks to the tactical visor, but that's not going to be a problem for Hawaiian with no pineapple as they're finding their way back into this fight, and that payload's going to keep rolling with Norza quite severely out of position back there. And he's going to get staggered out badly there.
He tried to pop Pummel Rage in the back there to delay it a bit, but ended up getting himself massively out of position. And is leaving Flipjack on his own.
Valkyrie comes out there for Jesus on the side of Hawaiian with no pineapple as they basically FoulPlay Phoenix are feeling very staggered here in this streets phase of Route 66.
Healing.
They've been really struggling with the coordination with Diva and Winston.
Damage increase.
Yeah, it feels
One will
like
go
that they're
in.
struggling with coordination altogether. You see, Swaggernaut got severely stuck behind that team and wasn't even able to come back to contest the point. Not that it would have made a difference because the rest of his team seems to be holding back. So
And we've got Norza making the switch here to Reinhardt.
losing Tickle Me Dead early in this fight, and that's Flipjack throwing out his mech and gets nothing for it. Kezre's got the Transcendence here, and well, I feel like it's going to be used quite soon because FoulPlay Phoenix are really struggling.
There was a nice biotic grenade there by the Ana to take Farah, but
Oh, and that'll be a dirty double kill with that self-destruct. And well, FoulPlay Phoenix are severely split up and staggered now, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do.
Here comes the last minute delay. It's a nice charge though.
They get 2 early picks there, but Hawaiian with no pineapple fighting back, getting the trades. Liz given low and 6 HP, and he loses his life. FoulPlay Phoenix finally getting some kills, probably at a slight advantage now, and they're looking for Hawaiian with no pineapple to give up, and they do just that.
I've still got almost 3 minutes in the time bank, but
Yeah, you feel like Hawaiian with no pineapple are really going to be able to push this card a few meters in a few minutes. And the Liz Givens just switched over to the Reaper, which I think is probably a solid choice for this indoor part of this map. Not really any ults for either side, perhaps a slight advantage for Hawaiian with no pineapple.
they've also
They-
switched up the triple tank here as well.
They're looking to take the high ground for whatever reason. Also playing quite aggressively as they're looking just to push this car the final few meters, and that self-destruct's not going to find anything, but it doesn't matter because the first 2 picks come out there for Hawaiian with no pineapple. The Liz Given making a massive impact on this Reaper, getting the damage done. And it's just the tanks that are here, but Soldier comes in with the tactical visor. Is he able to do anything with it? Maybe just a bit, and perhaps FoulPlay Phoenix have held them off just enough here, but Hawaiian with no pineapple, they're desperate to finish this here and now, and they get that self-destruct kill.
Flipjack has been doing a lot of work around the cart. Just been holding them off, just delaying it as much as he can by staying alive.
Yeah, he's prevented the payload pushing those last few meters, making sure that they don't forget about the cart. He's staying there and holding it for the team. So we'll have a Death Blossom coming out here soon from the Liz Given, and that could be game winning combined with an Earth Shatter. No support ultimates on the side of FoulPlay Phoenix. That's an early Earth Shatter that comes out from Norza. Loses his life for it. Sleep Dart there, and well, things are looking pretty even at this point, but Hawaiian with no pineapple might want to group up before they make a final push, but they look like they're going to keep going for it, and there's the Earth Shatter. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Liz Given probably looking for an opportunity to use the Death Blossom here. The whole hog comes out from Flipjack, but he too loses his life. And another Earth Shatter from Norza prevents the Liz Given from using the...
Oh, that's a huge sleep dart.
Wow.
It's just a matter of cleaning up.
Wow. Well, that fight did not end the way we expected. Norza with that second Earth Shatter, I think that's what saved it for them there. The Liz Given could have taken out nearly half of that foul play team if he was able to use the Death Blossom, but he couldn't get it out in time and fell victim to the Earth Shatter.
Norza's first Earth Shatter was actually really good because he managed to put them off really far away from the point and slowed them down. And he also managed to push off their Reaper just to desync him when he just came in for that second, when Pineapple came in for their next Earth Shatter.
Yeah, that was a powerful tank combo there on the side of FoulPlay Phoenix.
And then the last Earth Shatter from Norza really sealed the deal for them.
He did really well to get another Earth Shatter in that short period of time, and I think that's what got them over the line and making that hold.
And Flipjack his work on around the point as well, especially holding them off, really allowed them just to eat up time and just grind out those team fights for a win.
Seeing the Liz Given on Junkrat on this defense now. Seems to be a very versatile player and willing to play whatever hero works in whatever scenario.
I mean, we've seen him on, obviously his Pharah's been amazing, but he was also on Zarya.
Yep.
It's not my preference to see to matters personally.
Flipjack and Norsa sticking on the tanks that worked for them there on the defense, the Reinhardt and the Roadhog. Swaggernet's going to have a go at the Widowmaker to start off with here. Jesus opting to switch to Moira for this defense over the Mercy that he was playing just before. Liz Given's going to have to get out of there with the Widowmaker, but he finds the early kill onto Mag, and that's going to hold them back just a little bit. A bit of poking and prodding going on here from the side of FoulPlay Phoenix, seeing if they can find anything. Swaggernet looking for a headshot somewhere.
Oh, Ticklemead manages to come up behind and take out Jesus.
Good flank there. Swaggernet still unable to find anything on the Widowmaker. Ticklemead loses his life, and so does Mag. So they've made some distance here, not being contested on the low ground, but
Reggie Norz is off by himself.
And Swaggernet's just gonna lose his life here too. So I guess they made good progress for a first minute push. It's right back there at the point, but I feel like Hawaiian were able to do quite a strong defense from the high ground, even if it meant that they were unable to contest the cart.
So Ticklemead is going to try and get another flank on the backside.
The Riptire comes out from the Liz Given, finds nothing.
Mag gets picked off again by the Junkrat.
That's a yeah, Mag's been quite vulnerable on Arnie, you feel.
This is my will.
This is another strong defense we're seeing here. Swaggernet loses his life early in this fight. Flipjack just caught a little bit out of position there, and that's a retreat coming in. Swaggernet switching onto the Reaper, the hero that worked well for him on Oasis. And the High Noon comes in from the side of Hawaiian with no pineapple, and that's well, that's a quad kill with one Deadeye.
I believe there was the Hog who managed to get the hook in. Orza removing the shield at a great time.
60 seconds remaining.
Not a
Well-
great time for Phoenix.
No, but they do have the ultimate advantage ever so slightly at this point. Maybe not. Both teams are going to have 5 ults for this fight, so let's see what happens. Bit hard to follow what's going on there with the pure amount of ultimates that's coming out, but Swagonet's trying to finish off some of these kills on the point, but he's not able to do anything, and
Seems Pineapple just managed to get the early advantage there.
yeah, they have.
I will draw the sweat.
Jesus playing a bit aggressive there on the Moira.
10
Almost inviting a challenge there from Takomi Dad. Couple ults still here to be used in this fight. Earth Shadow comes in there from Norza, but not able to capitalize on it, and he loses his life. And well, it looks like this map will go over to Hawaiian with no pineapple. Felt like in that game, FoulPlay Phoenix were just unable to find a way in. They were losing members at the start of team fights, so
play of the game.
they were at a huge disadvantage there.
Yeah, when you come out of team fights 5 vs 5, we'll look at this replay. Yeah, there goes the hook. The hook on the Norza just took away that shield just long enough for Cheetah just to get that
Very
quad
clever
kill.
too, and he was behind a shield of his own, so there wasn't really much that they could do to stop that. Well, we're heading to Temple of Anubis next here. We'll be right back in a minute or two.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
It is not my preference to see to matters personally, but I will see them done.
Need healing.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I am ready to roll. Need healing.
We're here for Hawaiian with no pineapple up against FoulPlay Phoenix. We're at the final map Temple of Anubis, and it will be Hawaiian with no pineapple on the defense
What
first.
an interesting hypothesis. What an interesting hypothesis.
Slightly different heroes on the side of foul play than what we've seen earlier. Mag now on the Moira and Kezray on the Lucio, so let's see if it makes a difference. And well, that's Swaggin' getting picked off early at the start there, and that's gonna delay the push in from the side of FoulPlay Phoenix.
Pineapple has chosen to run the soldier on the high ground. Everybody else taking mid.
Tickle Me Dad is able to get an early pick off onto Lucio though. But the trade does come in from the Liz Given, taking out the enemy Junkrat for a second time in a row. Tanks are really by themselves here on the side of FoulPlay Phoenix, so I feel like they should be retreating and grouping up rather than losing team members early here. That's exactly what happens, and they're forced back, giving free ult charge to the side of Hawaiian with no pineapple.
Only gets better with age.
Swang, and it does get a lucky pick there onto Jesus.
Tickle Meat has been relatively uncontested up on the high ground as the Widow, but he hasn't been able to land his shots yet.
No, he hasn't really found anything other than that Lucio earlier, so... Oh. And well, before that fight's even started, it looks like it's over once again.
They were trying to rush the point on the low ground there, but that tire was timed very nicely and managed to take out both their supports.
Yeah, well, FoulPlay is struggling like they were before, struggling to find a way in and group up as a team and really just get in there before losing a team member early on. Oh, that's a good early pick-off though, onto the Liz Given. Let's see if they can capitalise and follow up with some further kills. Riptire comes in here from Swaggin' It. And
There's
well,
a big charge there from Orza.
FoulPlay
So Cheetah's got that high ground.
Well, that was looking so promising and they were able to get a tick, but once they were on that point, they weren't able to deal with Cheetah on the soldier. Also too, Tickle Me Dad was not even participating in that fight. He went back and got some healing, and which you don't really need to do when you're that far back. I felt like one or two headshots, if he found one, could have made a difference, especially on that Soldier 76 who was able to get off the tack visor and stop
Even some
that
body
push.
shots there would have made a huge difference. They
Yeah.
managed to make it all the way to point, but they just couldn't quite close it out.
Yeah, once they're on that point, no kills coming in, so let's see what they can do here as they're in the last minute of their attack. Probably not much just yet, losing another two members at the start of a fight before anything really happens, so they'll want to get back and group up if they're going to have any chance of taking this first point.
They'll switch up to dive here, and it's going to be their last sort of chance to try and...
Well, that's a pretty decisive Riptire, and I don't know what FoulPlay can do from here to take the point as the Coalescence comes out from the side of Hawaiian with no pineapple, and well, that's round one complete, and all Hawaiian are going to need to win this map and the match with 3 map wins is less than 2 ticks.
They managed to make a good second push when they came through with speed boost, but they couldn't quite group up.
Yeah, I feel like that FoulPlay are having trouble working together as a team, or perhaps it's just the fact that Hawaiian are a much stronger team unit. but they do feel like that they're playing at slightly different levels at the moment.
The coordination makes a huge difference, and you can see they're going.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they try and do on defense here.
Yeah,
Looks
and
like
I would be very happy if this was the real team comp coming in from Hawaiian with no pineapple.
Looks like they might run it. They might run a full cheese.
I mean, they've got 4 minutes to take less than 2 ticks. Why not try something fun at the start and see what they can do with it?
It's a perfect day.
Coming up.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
More serious team comp at this stage on the side of FoulPlay, who are gearing up for a defense now.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
Yeah, it seems they're going to try and play off the point. And the room to the
Yeah,
right.
they look like that they're playing really far back, that defense. They don't want to get rolled right at the start.
1. Attackers incoming.
And unfortunately, it looks like Pineapple's run with a more stable comp.
Disappointing for me to see, and Cheetah here on the Widowmaker is going to be able to say that none of them are set up at the front, and they're going to go right back to the back of the point is where they'll find them. And well, this is potentially dangerous from the side of FoulPlay, being grouped up in that small room on the side of the point, but thankfully for them, Hawaiian's not running a Junkrat, so not as easy, but Cheetah does find a headshot onto Flipjack there.
And that was a very fast Earth Shadow.
Certainly was, and Hawaiian look as if they're effortlessly taking this point, and Cheetah uncontested up the back there on the Widowmaker, making a difference. So that'll be 3-0 for the side of Hawaiian, and quite a decisive 3-0 as well, you have to say.
Indeed.
Alright, well thanks for joining us here at the AAOL. We hope you enjoyed this game, and we'll see you next Saturday from 7 Australian Eastern Time for Week 4.
Catch you later, everybody.